Hey guys, today I'm featuring this stamp set, High Tide. It's a beautiful stamp set. It's a two-step. You get 16 stamps and some beautiful sentiments that really are just lovely to have in your stash. There's nothing little about the light you shine. You have the most amazing ability to take an ordinary moment and make it shine. Let hope be your lighthouse, beckoning you through the stormy skies. In high tide or low tide, I'll be by your side. So really thoughtful sentiments. You have the lighthouse, then the light, then the water, sand, birds, a sun or a moon, depending on how you create your card. And this is from the Occasions catalog. Is good until May 31st. Soon we should know what products are retiring and what products are carrying over. But if you are thinking about purchasing something, you may want to do it sooner than later so you don't take a chance on missing out. Also, tomorrow is the last day of celebration. So if you are wanting to join Stampin' Up, you want to join by tomorrow so you can earn those 2 free stamp sets at no additional cost in addition to your starter kit. And your starter kit is $99 plus tax and free shipping, and that includes $125 worth of product of your choice. And then you get to choose 2 additional free stamp sets. So it's really a great deal, great time to join. There's no commitment. You could purchase your starter kit and not do another thing, and the starter kit is yours to keep. So today you will need your stamp set, your High Tide stamp set. The ink colors we are using is Smoky Slate, Dapper Denim, Sahara Sand, Old Olive, Marina Mist. My card base is Dapper Denim, and it's A2 size top folding card base. And then I have a piece of Crumb Cake cardstock, which measures 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of Whisper White, which is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So it's quite small. You will need your dimensionals and the Seaside Texture Impressions embossing folder. Okay, this is a beautiful embossing folder. Here is my sample card, which I think is just lovely. So I use the embossing folder. I use different colors. We're going to use a different color lighthouse just to kind of mix things up a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and emboss my piece of Crumb Cake. So it depends on what platform you have. I have this one with the tabs, the extended platform, and it has the tabs. So I just go to the tab 2. I lay down my first plate. Then I take my embossing folder and I go ahead, depending on how you want this waves to go, vertical or horizontal. I want them to be horizontal on my Crumb Cake. So I'm going to put that in there as straight as I can. Put that down. And put my top plate. Go ahead and run it through. And then I run it back through. And then I have my embossed piece. Now you can use this side or this side. You know, in certain embossing folders, you want to be careful running it back and forth because running it back forth may crack the paper, but this one's okay. It is quite raised, quite embossed. All right, so there's our embossed piece. We're going to put that with our card base and go ahead and put that aside. What I want to do next is I'm going to take my white piece of cardstock, my Whisper White, and we're going to go ahead and stamp our image. First, I'm taking the Sahara Sand, and I'm taking the stamp that looks like the sand. I'm going to stamp that up. And what's nice about this stamp is it has a cutout where you put your lighthouse. So I'm putting it towards the bottom because I don't want there to be any white space here at the bottom. And there is a little bit, no biggie. There is a smaller sand piece here that you could go in and fill in if you wanted to. We're just going to leave it. That's okay. So we're done with Sahara Sand. Next, I want to go ahead and do my lighthouse. So for that, I'm choosing Smoky Slate and Dapper Denim. On this one, I did Real Red, and I just stamped the image, and then my second stamp I used Full Strength. I didn't stamp off. And I didn't line it up too well, so hopefully for this one I'll line it up better. All right, I'm going to stamp down. This is the more solid image, so it is this one. It has more solid pieces. I'm going to stamp this in Dapper Denim. And I want to make sure I have full coverage on my stamp. You know, when a stamp is more solid, it can be a little bit more tricky getting ink all over the stamp. And I'm just going to put it in that groove and stamp down. And I don't know if it makes a difference, I like to hold it there. Actually, I should have my piercing mat underneath, so hopefully this came out okay. Yes, this what is it called? Work surface I'm on is actually foam board, so there is a little bit of give. All right, I am done with Dapper Denim. Next, I'm going to take my Smoky Slate, and I'm going to take this image, kind of the shadow image, and go ahead and ink this up. Line it up the best way. Hopefully this works well. I tried to line it up the top portion here. I lined it up, made sure that was lined up since last time I didn't do a good job. Okay, not bad. Right. So we are done with Smoky Slate, I believe. Actually, I may bring Smoky Slate back out for my birds, but I'm going to go ahead, bring in So Saffron. I'm going to do the Ray of Light. So let's see how this will look. I want it to be pretty light, so I'm actually going to stamp off. And okay, so done with So Saffron. Let's go ahead and do the water. Marina Mist I'm going to use for the water. Now when I made my sample card, I already made a mask. So what I did was I just took a longer sticky note and I just put it down on my image. And you can actually see through the sticky note. So instead of stamping and cutting, what I did was I just traced, and it doesn't have to be perfect because the sand is not a perfect line. So what I did was I just traced it and traced up the lighthouse and then cut it out. Really simple. But I'm going to go ahead and use this same mask just to cover the sand in the lighthouse. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because the sand is not a perfect line. So I'm using Marina Mist. I thought it was perfect color for water. And I'm just going to stamp on this side. And then I go this side and make sure the horizon is even. Okay, hopefully this looks okay. Good enough. For my birds, I'm going to take chocolate chip. Sorry, I'm adding all these inks. So in addition to the inks I told you in the beginning, you'll need So Saffron and chocolate chip. Of course, use whatever you want, whatever you prefer. There are a ton of ideas on Pinterest as far as color combinations. So I'm going to stamp these birds in chocolate chip, but I'm actually going to stamp off. Yeah, they're okay at the darkest. I just kind of wanted to see. Kind of stamp them down, even though they look gigantic next to the lighthouse, but we'll go with it. No biggie. And then I want to take my old olive and I'm going to go ahead and add some grass. And on the grass, I do stamp off some, so there's a little bit of variation. So I might do full strength, and then I'll come back, stamp off, and come back and stamp another. And then they also have a smaller grass stamp. so add however much you like. I think we're good there. I'm actually going to bring back in my Dapper Denim and stamp my sentiment. And I chose there's nothing little about the light you shine. That's why I went ahead and decided to add the light. Beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, kind of changing my mind as I go because I don't want that much white space. I'm going to take the Sahara Sand. Yes. Sahara Sand. And I'm going to go ahead and take the bird stamp set, the birds that are flying. Or the bird stamp, not stamp set. And I'm going to just add a couple birds. Let me see what it looks like when it's kind of like it stamped off, just to kind of give it a subtle look. Oops. I got a little bit of brown smudge there. We'll see if we can take that off. Okay. So I have this, it's Paper Artsy Sand Eraser. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell it. I've used it in previous videos. I will link it below. But I'm going to go ahead and try to take off this spot and this spot that I got with ink. So we'll see how that works. Okay, so the eraser got off most of this little bit here, but I had issues trying to get that off. So I'm going to take my ink pad again, and we're going to try to cover that up. What I did was I am going to use one of these birds to stamp over it, and what I did was I masked off the birds I don't want to be stamped. Okay. So we're gonna, and I went ahead and stamped these full strength, just to kind of see that it's not sticking. I went back and stamped them full strength, is what I'm trying to say, instead of stamped off. So we're gonna stamp this one bird. Don't forget to remove your sticky notes. And I'm gonna stamp over that. All right, smudge. Now, it's not perfect, but it's not as noticeable. So you can kind of see still, but it's not as bad. So, you know, if you're new to card making, don't fret. There's always, just keep going, find a way to fix it. Don't give up on a project, you know, before you're finished. If I feel like it's a big disaster as I'm going, I just keep going, keep pushing through, and most of the time it actually ends up being one of my favorite cards. So that is finished, and what we're going to do now is go ahead and put our card together. I'm going to take my crumb cake piece, and I'm going to use my snail to adhere this down. And you can use either side, the raised or not raised, embossed, debossed, whatever those terms are. Okay. Zoom me out a little. Then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to use, you can use your stamping dimensionals. I'm going to use this just so I can have better coverage. I've said in previous videos, I like stamping dimensionals, I love them, but really for small bits, not a card panel, because I don't like there being a chance that it will dip in an area. So I just use some foam tape. Yes, foam tape. And I recommend the 3M. I don't recommend what I'm using. I won't even, I've said where it's before. I said where it is from before, and it's not worth mentioning again, but I don't like it, so I'm using it up. So people ask me what it is. I recommend the 3M foam tape you can get off Amazon. That's going to be your best. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. And beautiful. I love this stamp set. It's just so classy, and I think it's a great stamp set if you are looking for masculine cards. when I have made cards with the stamp set, I usually always do the red lighthouse, but I'm really liking the blue. So let me know what's your favorites. Blue lighthouse, red lighthouse. Do you like the Night of Navy cardstock here or the Dapper Denim? Either way, I think they're beautiful. So all products will be listed below. Tomorrow I will be bringing back the same stamp set, and we're actually, if I can speak, we are actually going to be making coasters. I think this is a great stamp set to make coasters and give as a gift. So stay tuned for that. This is going to be an exciting, different project. It won't be a card. Remember, celebration ends tomorrow, so definitely place your orders. If your order is below $150, don't forget to use that hostess code down below so you can get some Card Kit Club contents for the month of April. And if you're interested in that, I will link the video above. So let me know if you have any questions. Supplies are linked below. Don't forget that hostess code, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.